Imagine losing your favorite team, not because the city didn't care, but because someone wanted it gone. A stadium falling apart, fans begging to save it, and deals made behind closed doors. So why did the Oakland A's really leave? And why does Vegas get a team Oakland fought to keep for decades? Well, the year was 2005 and everything seemed normal. Lou, Wolf, and John Fisher had just bought the Oakland A's, and fans were excited about new ownership. But behind the scenes, something strange was happening. The new owners started complaining about their stadium almost immediately. Now, the Oakland Coliseum wasn't exactly perfect. Well, built decades ago, it had leaky roofs and old plumbing. But here's the weird part. Other teams had played in worse places and made it work. So why were the A's owners so desperate to leave? For the next 20 years, Fisher and his team would float one crazy stadium plan after another. First, they wanted to move to Fremont in 2006. The community shut that down by 2009. Then they tried a waterfront site in 2010. That failed too. In 2017, they pitched a plan at Laney College, rejected again. Each time a plan failed, something interesting happened. The team got a little worse, the stadium got a little more rundown, and the fans started to notice a pattern. By 2018, the A's had one last shot, a proposal at Howard Terminal on the Port of Oakland. This was going to be their masterpiece, a $1 billion privately funded stadium as part of a massive development project. Oakland was all in, ready to support their team. But then the delays started. City council meetings dragged on forever. The team's lawyers seemed to find new problems every week. And Fisher kept saying he was committed to Oakland while quietly having conversations with other cities. Here's where the story gets really strange. In May 2021, Major League Baseball gave A's the permission to explore relocation if they couldn't make a deal with Oakland by 2024. But get this, Oakland wasn't dragging their feet anymore. They were actually offering the A's an incredible deal. And if you think this drama's wild so far, hit that like button and subscribe because it only gets messier from here. Mayor Sheng Tao later revealed that Oakland had lined up almost $1 billion in public funding. That's right, nearly $1 billion to keep the A's in the Bay Area. They had infrastructure money, tax districts, and everything the team could want. So what did the A's do with this amazing offer? They took a meeting with Las Vegas instead. Las Vegas officials were smart. They knew that A's were shopping around, so they made their pitch simple and sweet. A brand new $1.75 billion stadium with a retractable roof right on the famous Las Vegas Strip. The catch here is they'd only have to pay $380 million in public money. Wait, let's make sure you heard that right. Oakland offered almost $1 billion. Las Vegas offered $380 million, and somehow Vegas won the bidding war. Fisher's explanation was that Oakland had too much red tape and too many delays. But critics started pointing out something fishy. Every time Oakland tried to move forward, the A's seemed to find new reasons to stall. It was like they didn't actually want to stay. The fans weren't stupid. They could see that what was happening. In 2023, they organized something called a reverse boycott. Instead of staying away from games, they bought tickets just to show up and chant, "Sell the team." They held up signs like asking why MLB hated its fans. They made it clear that they knew their owner was sabotaging their city. By November 2023, MLB owners had approved the A's move to Las Vegas, just like the Riders did in 2020. But here's where the money part gets wild. The $380 million in public funding isn't cash, it's mostly tax credits and bonds. Vegas sells those credits to casinos and raises money through hotel room taxes. So in the end, tourists not locals will help foot the bill for new stadium. But even with that clever financing, there is a problem. The stadium was supposed to cost $1.5 billion when they announced it. By 2024, that estimate had grown to $1.75 billion, and people familiar with the project are warning it could hit the $2 billion mark or more. Remember, Las Vegas is only paying $380 million max? Well, Fisher's family committed to $1.1 billion. That leaves a potential gap of hundreds of millions of dollars. So what happens if the stadium costs more than expected? That's the billion-dollar question nobody wants to answer. Fisher has said his family won't pay more than $1.1 billion. The public funding is capped at $380 million. So if costs go up, who's going to cover the difference? Some people think Fisher will have to sell part of the team to invest. Some people think that Fisher will have to sell a part of the team to investors, while others worry that Las Vegas might put pressure to increase their public contribution. And a few cynics think that this was all part of Fisher's plan from the beginning. Meanwhile, back in Oakland, the city is dealing with something no major American city has ever faced before. They've lost all three of their professional sports teams in just 5 years. The Warriors left for San Francisco in 2019, the Riders bolted for Vegas in 2020, and now that the A's are gone too. The fans are heartbroken, but they're also angry. They keep pointing out that Oakland offered way more money than Vegas did. They had better infrastructure, a better media market, and generations of loyal fans. So why did they lose? Some players have spoken out too. Bryce Harper, who grew up in the Bay Area, said he still sees the A's as an Oakland team and not a Vegas team. The players have called this move a terrible choice for baseball and terrible for fans who supported the team for decades. But the business side of baseball doesn't care about sentiment. Commissioner Rob Manfred backed Fisher's decision, saying the Coliseum was no longer viable and that they had no choice but to move on. He claimed that they tried very hard to make Oakland work. The teachers' union in Nevada isn't buying any of this. They've been fighting the stadium deal from day one, arguing that every dollar spent on a billion-dollar stadium is a dollar not spent on education. Nevada ranks the bottom in school funding, so they're asking why taxpayers should help a wealthy owner build his playground. Even some Nevada politicians oppose the deal. They call it socialism for rich and question whether Las Vegas really needs another expensive stadium when they already have venues for the Rider and Golden Knights. But supporters argue the stadium will create thousands of jobs and bring millions of tourists to the city. They point to the success of other Vegas sports teams and say baseball will complete the city's transformation into a major sports destination. The construction has already begun and the stadium is supposed to be open in 2028. It's going to be gorgeous, with sweeping views of the Strip and the closest seats to home plate in all of baseball. The question is whether anyone will show up to watch. Las Vegas isn't just exactly known for its baseball culture. The city has had some success with hockey and football, but those are shorter seasons with fewer games. Well, baseball teams play 81 home games a year. That's a lot of tickets to sell in a city where most people are tourists. Oakland fans are watching all of this with a mixture of sadness and rage. They feel like they've been robbed by an owner who never gave their city a fair chance. Many of them are planning to follow the team to Vegas just to boo Fisher and chant "Sell the team" and his shiny new stadium. The whole saga raises some uncomfortable questions about modern sports. Should billionaire owners be able to hold city hostage with threats to relocate? Is it fair for taxpayers to subsidize stadiums when schools and infrastructure are underfunded? And what happens to the community when they lose their teams that will give them the identity and pride? Oakland is trying to figure out what comes next. They're redeveloping the old Coliseum site with affordable housing and community spaces. But for many fans, no amount of development will fix the hole left by losing all their teams. Fisher, for his part, insists he tried everything to make Oakland work. He says he spent years and millions of dollars looking for solutions. But critics aren't buying it. They think he's planning to leave from the moment he bought the team. The truth is probably somewhere in between. Oakland didn't have bureaucratic problems and aging infrastructure, but Fisher also seemed to give up on the city long before he exhausted all his options. The fact that he took a much smaller deal in Vegas suggests money wasn't the only factor in his decision. So here's the question that's dividing baseball fans everywhere. Was John Fisher a businessman making a tough but necessary decision, or was he a greedy owner who betrayed a loyal fan base for a fancier stadium? Was it worth it for Oakland? Should taxpayers really foot the bill for stadiums that may never feel like home? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and share if you enjoyed these deep dives, and if you've missed our look inside the Buffalo Bills exclusive Hallmark Stadium, go check it out. Next, it's a completely different story. Don't forget to subscribe for more stadium controversies and hidden sports business stories.